Okay. Hi everyone. I think you can hear me, so I'm just testing out here real quick to make sure the lighting is good. Yeah, you can. I tested the sound earlier, so you should be able to hear me. So hopefully, right now I have the camera so I can see the screen, but I'm going to end up rotating the camera just so you can read. I know you're all talented and everything and probably could read backwards, but just to make it simple for you, I'm going to switch the screen around, and that means I won't be able to see if you are asking questions or comments. So unfortunately, I'll have to answer those after the live. So if you just want to just write everything or type everything down when you think of it, and then I will respond to you after the live and get your answers, your questions answered. So let me just flip this around here. Oh shoot! I don't know if I'm gonna like that. There we go. So hopefully you can see that. And I am streaming live from my camper, and so it's a kind of a first for me to do a class online. It's a first for me to be doing a class in my camper. So, and it's a first for me doing a class on the camping necessities for your camper. It's a class that I just whipped together in the last couple weeks. I thought, you know what, camping season's coming up. Everybody's starting to get ready and thinking about it. And I know I am in Wisconsin here. We're probably about another month away, unfortunately, for decent camping weather. So we're a little bit ways off. So anyway, I'm gonna try to keep this shorter for you. I know I have everybody being cooped up in the house, that you're looking for a little escape, maybe some interaction with other people than that you're in your house with. But I also do know that life goes on, and there's always plenty to do while you're at home. So I'm going to try to keep this on the shorter side. We're just going to be covering 7 different topics of the basic camper essentials that I like to bring along with on my camping trips. There are a lot of stuff from Young Living that I like to bring along, but these are the must have. So again, this is streaming from my camper, so I hope that I remembered everything for this class. So if I don't, please forgive me, and I'll do my best to explain everything for you. So first off, a little bit about me. Myself and my family have been using Young Living products for a little under 6 years now. We started out with just the oils, and just like a lot of people probably starting out a little bit skeptic. However, I was in the time of my life where I had tried just about everything for my condition, and I was willing to try anything. And the good Lord put me next to in a vendor show right next to a Young Living representative, and it went from there. So, and my love for the oils, they worked instantly for me, and they just continue to excite me, because every new thing I try, they astound me every single time. So anyway, a long story short, that's a little bit of backup about me, with the background about the oils and my use of how long I've been using. Trust me, I'm always researching on essential oils and Young Living products to see how they can help you and help me and help everybody, because I am not only just an avid user, our family is not just only avid users of the Young Living products, but I also like to share. And sharing is what I like to do. And I've got a lot of stories, personal stories, and I've got a lot of connections that I can share their stories with too. So ask away if you have any questions that I can help you answer with. So, why Young Living is because I chose to just for my health. It not only benefited me, but I also wanted it to benefit my family and my house. I know they were much more than just essential oils, but that was just going to start there. And then gradually over the 6 years, I've switched everything over from, the cleaners in my house. I'm now chemical free with my cleaners, to everything in the bathroom. We've got everything from deodorant to toothpaste and mouthwash and shampoos and so on and so forth. There's all sorts of different Young Living products that we've slowly introduced to and so now I'm okay with not being able to go to Walmart because I got my own stuff, so that's good. But anyway, the first topic or the first thing I want to do is to talk about bugs. When we're camping, there's always bugs, it seems like, especially fleas and ticks for the pets. In Wisconsin here, we have mosquitoes, which is the summer state bird, and we call them no-see-ums, but they're gnats, the little biting gnats. So we're always dealing with those kinds of bugs. So my favorite thing to bring with camping is a do-it-yourself spray that I make from the essential oils. Now, Young Living also sells an insect repellent. It comes in a cream and it's very, very concentrated. So when you buy that, you can actually divide it up and make double what you actually bought it for. So that's just a little DIY hack. But here's my high technology from the camper. I wanted to share with you my bug spray recipe. Like I said, we're about a month away from our camping season, so I have not yet put any of these together for the summer yet. So I wish I had some more examples for you, but this right here is my recipe for the do-it-yourself bug spray. This you can use on small children and pets, even cats. Yes, Young Living, you can use those. We're on cats only because, and then obviously you just don't douse the cats in them, but I would say because Young Living is 100% plant-based and doesn't use any fillers or any kind of other abnormalities. It's 100% plant-based, so we're talking it's safe. So and it's the bug and tick spray. So a little story. So it was before my husband and I started using Young Living products. We had a dog that liked his favorite spot out by the wood line, and of course by the wood line you're talking ticks, you're talking mosquitoes, gnats, everything that would always bother him. So my husband, he was trying to be the helpful guy there. He went out and took a name brand flea or a bug and tick spray for the woods, for the thick woods, hint, and he went out and sprayed an area down where my dog liked to go lay down to help him out when he liked to lay down in his favorite spot next to the woods. And a couple of hours later, after he sprayed it down with this bug and tick spray, you would not believe, pretty much all the grass, all the leaves, all the weeds, everything had turned brown and wilted away. I mean, that right there is a big red flag. If it does that to the plant life within hours, think about what it does to our skin. In the last few years, we've learned a lot about what those flea and tick sprays actually do and what kind of chemicals we're talking there. And we're talking about our skin, which is the largest living organ in our bodies, on our bodies, and it soaks in everything and it goes straight to our bloodstream. So we've got to be careful what we use on our skin. So this do-it-yourself bug spray helps tremendously. It keeps away the mosquitoes and the no-see-ums. Also the ticks for the dog. You don't see that. I rarely see a tick on my dog. And if I do, it's because we were actually in the deep trails walking around and hiking around. So we've got in a 8-ounce spray bottle. You could obviously double this if you want with a 16-ounce spray bottle if you'd like. But we're talking about 10 drops of peppermint oil, 8 drops of citronella, 8 drops of purification. That's a blend that Young Living has. 4 ounces of distilled water, 4 ounces of witch hazel. Why witch hazel is because witch hazel will break down into a smaller molecule, and when you spray it out in the air, it actually keeps it airborne longer, and also it helps stick to your skin better, so you're able to actually do really good with those oils that are in that mixture. So that's the first product that I would recommend to bring on your camping trip in your camper, to keep in your camper. The second one would be, let me see here. What have I got here next? The second one would be a diffuser. So Young Living, in your starter kit that you get, you have a diffuser. I bring a diffuser because if you're familiar with camping, with camper camping, that you know by the end of your camping trip that your camper is so, it reeks so much of the different smells from your campsite. I mean, we're talking cooking smells. We're talking the bonfire smells and smoke smells. We're just talking bathroom smells, septic and everything, and it all that combined together is, and smelly clothes smell. So all that together, we're talking by the end of the trip, it gets pretty stale in the camper. So what I like to do is, let's see if I do got this. I have I like to diffuse the purification in the diffuser. I like to do it after we cook breakfast and eat breakfast and clean up in the morning, you know, when we leave the camper for the day to go out and spend some time outside, is when I'll turn on the diffuser and put purification. That's the blend that Young Living makes, and I'll put purification in the diffuser and let it diffuse while we're gone. So that really helps break down the smells. Also, I will also do it at nighttime when we go to bed. Not only because the diffuser has a pretty nightlight look to it, but it also, again, at the end of the day, at the end of the bonfire and everything else like that, it'll help break down the musty smell in your camper. So I do that on a daily basis when we're camping. The next one would be, talking about smelly smells, would be the septic treatment. I have, let's see here, another recipe to share with you, and this would be for the do-it-yourself black tank bombs. So if you're familiar with like the bath bombs and the toilet bombs, this would be the black tank bomb. You just make these, throw it in your, what I do is throw it in the black tank after you've dumped at the end of the camping trip. After you dumped and you're able to refill the tank up with water, I would throw that in there and let it fizz and do its thing, work it a couple hours, and then you can drain it if you can. You can dump it again if you can. Because honestly, this has citric acid in it. And citric acid, this is not the acid that obviously eats through like different things, but this is the good citric acid. It actually will, because part of the problem that we all have is the sensors in our black tank, you know, where it tells you the level of how full your black tank is. Sometimes we have, you know, misrepresentation of how full your black tank is because your sensors are corroded, or there's some calcified deposits on it, or there are some number 2 that's stuck on it, some sludge and whatnot. So we need to break that loose somehow. And we've tried in the past to use other remedies, you know, that you've got the wand that goes down there and you can flush it that way, and there's other chemicals that you could throw down there and try, but nothing really helped for us except this. I tried this last year and it did wonderfully, and so I'm definitely going to do it this year. But anyway, it's a natural deodorizer, so again, you're not breathing, and your family's not breathing in those fumes from your black tank. And then it cleans those sensors, so that's very important. Once you get those full of muck and grime, a lot of times it's really hard to get rid of and clean those sensors off. This recipe will make 9 of the bombs, and it only takes 5 minutes. And so the recipe only calls for a 1/3 cup of borax, a 1/3 cup of baking soda, and a 1/3 cup of citric acid. You could use a teaspoon of the Thieves Cleaner, the concentrated Thieves Cleaner, or you could just do your favorite essential oils. Like orange or purification would be good ones, and mix it all in. And then take a silicone mold, something like this, to put to stuff the recipe. Stuff them in there tight, really tight. Like I said, they'll bake about 9 of these, and let them sit in the mold overnight. And then after you've let them sit for 24 hours, you can take them out of the mold, and then let them set and dry out again for another 1 to 2 days before you put them in the airtight packaging, like a Ziploc bag or something. And because you want to keep them also in an airtight package, because if like the damp air or anything gets to them, then they'll start sticking together and deforming and everything like that. It'll take on that moisture. So you'll have whole nother problem with those. But these are awesome. I mean, and like I said, it only takes 5 minutes to whip them together and a batch up together, and you're set for basically the whole camping season. For us, we go about 9 times a year, so I mean, that's really good. So that would be the next thing that I would recommend to do. Another thing are the Thieves wipes. Now, Young Living actually sells pre-made Thieves wipes. They're really, really, really good, but they're also really, really popular. And I am pretty cheap in knowing that you could make your own Thieves wipes out of the Thieves household cleaner. This is, like I said, ultra concentrated, so you can get a lot of different uses. 1 bottle of this will last like a whole year, and that includes mopping your floors and making a regular cleaner spray and everything else like that. I mean, Windex, washing windows and everything, deep cleaner spray and everything. A bottle like this will last you a whole year. So that's my little sidetrack on the Thieves Cleaner. I think I have, yeah. So with the Thieves Cleaner, you can also make yourself instead of buying them from Young Living. As long as you have the Thieves Cleaner concentrate, you can make your own Thieves wipes. What I recommend is the Brawny paper towels. They just hold up a lot better, and they clean a whole lot better. So what you'll do is with that paper towel, you'll cut it right in half. So you end up with a half of a roll, two half of rolls, and that's one thing I forgot to bring with for me tonight, is the container. But all you have to do is find a container. It could be a coffee can, something that has will hold a half a roll of paper towel and has a lid on it that is sealable. So you can keep them right in there. You just throw after you cut the towel, the paper towel in half vertically, and put it in there with the hole sticking up. Add 2 cups of water mixed in with 3 caps of thieves cleaner. This will actually get down to the nitty gritty. Some people use only 2 caps, but I like to use 3 caps because sometimes things like the picnic tables outside need a good wash down, and those thieves cleaner with the extra capful is really handy. I also like to add some citrus fresh essential oil drops in there. Again, it's not recommended, but I just like the way it makes it smell, and it's just a little bit extra tough grime to lift all those deep spots, stains and everything. So what you'll do is after you get that in, let it soak a little bit, and then the cardboard roll will come right out. So just whip that out right out, and when it comes to time to use your first wipe, you can just pull it up from the middle, and you just rip off a square or 2 or how much ever you need, and ready for the next time. Reseal it, and you're ready for the next time. Wonderful thing to have, because you're cleaning all sorts of surfaces when you're camping, are you not? I mean, you've got your bathroom surfaces, your kitchen surfaces, your surfaces outside. You could wipe the dog down, because the dog gets dirty outside with these things, and because it's chemical free. And so you want to be safe with that. So that would be my number 5 recommendation. And my next recommendation would have to be, let's see, I think I skipped a page here. Here, obviously, the actual essential oils. Everybody's got their own favorites, but these are my favorites. If I had to narrow them down to 5 of them, definitely these would be the 5 that I bring along with. Okay, we've got the thieves, and I'm not going to go into why I bring these because that's a whole nother class. But I got thieves, valor, peppermint, digest, and panaway for my favorite top 5 essential oils. And then for the next one would be the supplements. Between my husband and I, these are ours. He'll take Super B, Agiles, the Ningxia Red Shots, and then we both take the multigreens, and then I take the Sulfurzyme and the Omega Gives. Those are my must-haves, so I can't go without a day without those. Those are a must-have for me. And of course your toiletries, like your shampoo that the Young Living sells. Shampoo, conditioners, lotions, hair serum, toothpaste, mouth rinse, deodorants, much, much, much more. So don't forget those essentials. And I want to finish off with, at the end of the season and you're winterizing, how many times have we heard, you got to keep the mice out. We used to have mice problem all the time because we are in rural Wisconsin, and we actually keep our camper right next to the woods, and so we do have mice problems. We've tried everything from the Zest, I think it was the Zest soap, the dryer sheets, which those kind of work, but we still had some problems with the mice. But actually, the last 2 years, we've gone strictly And let me see if I still have one sitting over here. Oh, I still have these sitting over here. In the corner, we have a cotton ball. And this cotton ball, we've got, I don't know, about a dozen or so hanging around. When we winterize our camper, that's one thing we do is we drop a few drops of peppermint oil on the cotton balls, and we spread them around in key places, like, usually excuse me, usually they have you have mice droppings on the counter, in the corners of your camper, by the bathroom, and so you stick them in the strategic places. Like I said, no more than a dozen in our camper, but depending on the size of your camper and everything. That's what we've been using the last few years, and I'm telling you what, the last 2 years, I haven't cleaned in this camper yet from when we left it last fall. There are literally zero mouse droppings in this camper. Zero. None. None on the counter, none in the bathroom, none in the corners of the camper, none. I'm amazed at how much the peppermint oil works. And we only do it once. I mean, sometimes my husband, he didn't do it this past winter, I don't think, but the winter before, he came in occasionally and refreshened up the peppermint oil. But like I said, I don't think he did it this past winter, and we still have no mouse droppings in our camper. So that would be my next tip for that. And so finally, I guess, I think I have, I don't know if you probably can't see, but I got an array of